Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426 and today we have the review of the HGUC or High Grade Universal Sentry GM Cannon 2. Now I got this kit recently because it has been on my list for a while, and I was really curious on how the structure was because it looks like a normal GM that would say extra additional armor. So I was really curious on how the build would be, but so that's why I bought the kit and I figured it out. So let's get on to the review right away. Now, of course, what you get is, of course, the GM Cannon 2. You get a decal or sheet where you got some extra big numbers here, small numbers, and some extra Albion symbols and other Federation symbols, and some extra decal / stickers for the mobile suit. And I did not use all of them, and I will explain what I used. Also, what you also get is an interesting part where you get on one of the plates there's this special piece with 4 holes on it, and what you can do is to attach the leftover hands that you're not using onto these holes like these. So I guess this is the best way or best timing to explain what hands you get. Now, first of all, if you've seen the kit, I am currently using 2 standard fist hands, so that you can't hold anything. You get 2 open hands for each side, and you get your generic or general multi-purpose hand. You don't get another multi-purpose hand for the other side, so you only get one for the right hand and another right hand, but a trigger finger with a machine gun. And this one is also angled as well, like this, so it can hold the machine gun with no problem, because some machine guns, if this was on top, there wouldn't be much problem holding it, but since this is on the bottom, and so this kind of hands is required. So we've seen that, and we get a additional shield where it's basically the same shield as the GM Command space type, and let's see, I think just the GM Command and the GM Custom and the GM Quell as well. You get also extra 2 ammo clips. However, these are just like they're not really for this. This doesn't detach, so it's just for aesthetics. And also you get a connector for the shield. And you also get 2 beam saber effects, the short versions, but you only get 1 beam saber, which is stored in here in the arm. So that's that. I won't be showing the beam saber. Well, you know what? Actually, yeah, I won't be showing the beam saber effect because they're just your typical general beam saber effects and beam saber as well. Now, you get some leftover parts, surprisingly, because I never thought I'd be seeing this many leftover parts. First is I just cut off the entire runner because I was getting lazy. You get some sort of thruster here, and then additional pieces that's supposed to look like it goes on the feet or the leg. You get another additional piece of these parts, which is on the waist, which I am really glad, because sometimes this is one of the most important parts of a kit. If you break this, you're pretty much messed up. And well, this is not exactly an extra for the GM Cannon 2, but it's a different design, but better than not having an extra part. And all of these are like random parts where I can't guess. Of course, this is like for the arms, or I mean waist, and you even get an extra like a facial or eye part for the GM, like behind the visor part, and an additional antenna here. So I say that's a pretty good, leftover parts. Of course, these don't go there directly. So let's get on to the review right away. Once again, this kit has a very clunky design because there's a reason. And some people, those who don't know and don't go actually read in Gundam Wiki, is that this armor may look very familiar to some people. And yes, you are true. This is actually the Chobam armor from the Gundam Alex. But this time, it's not really an armor. It's actually like a built-in armor. So this does not have like a cast-off form, just letting you guys know. I think I'll put these up just in case. Okay, so let's get on to the review. Let me just set my tripod a little bit higher so we can see what we have. Now let's get on to the head right away. The head is pretty, even the head looks pretty bulky. Now, I always thought this was like a modified version or like a armored up version of a GM Custom. And I think it's partially true because the head does have some similarities, like this part, the visor as well. The only sticker I used on the head is the green sticker part, back and forwards, as you can see. The visor comes in clear orange, so that's a very good thing. And it can go, let's see, it can go down that much, up that much, and 360 shouldn't be a problem, but just be careful of those antennas, because one of the main things of a GM is its antenna. You don't want to break the main thing. It's like also breaking the V-fin of a Gundam. So we've seen the head. It's just connected to your typical polycab neck joint, and nothing too special. Now let's get on to the body. Let's get on to the body. Now the body does not have any stickers. Surprisingly, I was expecting these yellow parts to be stickers, but they are separate pieces, so no need to worry. On the body itself, there's not much you can do. There's no additional moving parts, just letting you guys know. But you do have the backpack, which I will get into later, since it's a weapon and it's technically an accessory to this guy, I guess. So I will get that into later. The arms. Now the arms, there's nothing too special. The main arm is connected to a polycab into the body, into a ball joint. So it has your typical movement forward and backward. However, because of the clunky design of the armor, there's not much movement than your typical high grade. Also, I use the Federation symbol on this side, and then my signature number 426 on the other side. And I also put additional Albion symbol stickers / decals onto the sides to make sure, like, you know, it has that image. Okay, now let's get on to the articulation of the arm. Now the arm, let's see, it has, despite its design, it's double jointed and it doesn't have much hindrance in terms of doing the bend. 360 is no problem at all. And just letting you guys know, each arm looks different because it only stores one beam saber onto the left hand. This beam saber is pretty tricky to take off. Basically, it's connected to a peg here and you need to pull it off, so I'm not really sure how. There we go. I pulled it off, so you can take it out and then attach it only to the right hand, which is a bummer because, well, not really a bummer, but since I guess it wouldn't really hurt to get a, you know, put another one here, but I'm not the one to judge. Oh my, my bad. So let me just put it here. The hand, you can put it just here directly. It's pretty stable. It's not loose any bit, but it's sort of small than you usually see. So just letting you guys know, I'm gonna take it out for a while. And one issue, if I had to mention, is that I have no problem with the left arm, but the right arm, for example, it feels a little bit loose, like that. Yeah, it feels a bit loose, and it tends, if I'm not too careful, it tends to pop out. So I might need to use some extra glue or stuff in something inside there to make it feel stiffer. Besides that, it's not a big deal. Just don't get the wrong idea saying like, oh my god, that kid sucks. No, that's not the case, okay? Like I always say, you need some luck in terms of gunpla. Okay, we've seen the arms, and the hands are connected to a typical ball joint as well. And each arm has these holes for a reason, which I will mention later. These holes I'm talking about. Okay, the body. Also, if you're wondering, the arm can go sideways about 90 degrees, and it has your typical 360 twist. The body is connected to a peg, I believe. Let me check one more time. Yeah, it's connected to a peg, so don't try to force like going to the sideways, but it can go 360. Seems like it is possible, but you need to loosen up some parts. So just letting you guys know. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Scratch that. It's not possible because these parts were trying to fall off. The front skirt and back skirt was trying to fall off. So 360 is not possible, but this is all you get unless you like loosen up the connection. Okay, so now for the waist. There's not much to the waist. The front skirt is just one piece, but if you want to separate them, that's your choice. The back skirt can also move as well. I don't think this one's not the separable style, I think, but who knows. The side skirts, they just move. They're just connected to a peg, and this doesn't. The legs do not go sideways because they're just connected to a ball joint into the main side. So letting you guys know, no side swivels, if that's what you call. And the legs, let's see, the legs can go 90 degrees up front, and then technically Well, no, it's not double. Well, I assume it has to be double jointed, but because of the design, you can only go 90 degrees bent. Also, yeah, you don't go much sideways. Okay, now we've seen the stuff, the main articulation. Now for the weapons. One of the main features of the weapons are the beam cannons on its back slash shoulders. Now they can move only like front and up. This is its, this is the most you can go up, and then you can go 90 degrees in front, and that looks very nice. And these are actually beam cannons. Unlike the GM Cannon 1, it was like a cannon, but this is a beam cannon. So nothing too special about that, but it does have its own charm and design. Also, you get a bunch of thrusters, but considering this mobile suit is not really about speed, but more like armor, it does, yeah, having a lot of thrusters could be, necessary, like having one on the bottom, the back, the side. I remember seeing it. I think it was Prime 92's video where this part was keep falling off. For mine, that's not it's not an issue. So I guess it really depends on your luck. Also, these parts, these inner line parts are supposed to be black according to the box. Just letting you guys know as well. Okay, I think we covered all the basics. Now for the accessories. Now we have the shield, and you have the shield connector. And the holes on the arms are there for this purpose. You can just attach it to here, and the shield is your usual. It's kind of usual these days. They're on the clipping mechanism where you can just clip it onto the side or the back. So there we go. I also added a Federation symbol onto the shield. And for the machine gun, I'll take off the hand, and here we go. Thanks to that angled part, you don't really have much trouble attaching the weapon, because sometimes some old kits have problem doing this. Now, at first it looks kind of awkward, but if you actually shot a rifle before, this kind of makes sense now, because you're not gonna be holding it like a normal beam rifle. It's gonna be like this, and of course this is one of those rifles that you need. Some requires like double arms to hold, but you know what? Let me actually test that out. Oh yeah, I keep pulling it out. Now, let's see if this is capable of, holding it in both hands. And I don't usually do this, but oh well. And I highly doubt it will. Okay, it's almost there, but yeah, the articulation isn't that great. But of course, you can do it like this if you want to. But yeah, the articulation isn't that great, but considering the design and function of this mobile suit, it makes sense. Also, I forgot to mention, if you clip on the shield, you can also go 360 with the shield, because that separate piece is onto a peg. So you can go 360 if you want. Well, I guess that's it. That was the review of the HGUC GM Cannon 2. This is a very great kit. If I'm assuming mine just was like unlucky or having a loose joint or a little bit, but besides that, this is a very great kit. Sure, it may not have the best articulations, however, the design, and because of the Chobam armor, and it has more defense, so it makes sense for having some limitations on the articulation. And this is a very basic build for anybody. So this is really recommended for anybody, especially Federation fans out there, or the Stardust Memory series as well. Well, anyway, thank you for watching my video and review. If you like the series, please like my videos and also subscribe to my channel. I still have more kits to buy and build and make reviews out of, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.